Hello. How are we doing today? I hope you're doing great. I know I am. So this video, we are going to cover a body scan meditation. You can be seated. You can lie down on your back. Just make sure you're not too comfortable so you don't fall asleep. You can even do it standing if you really want, but seated is often preferred. We're just going to get comfortable, however comfortable feels for your body. You want to make sure you're not super tight in your hips, you're not rounding in that back, so maybe give yourself a little elevation under your hips if you are seated, either on the floor or maybe sitting in a chair if sitting on the floor is not comfortable for you. I'm just finding what feels best for your knees, for your hips, allows your spine to be long, your shoulders to be soft. Allowing the eyes to close and just taking a few breaths, noticing the pattern of your breath, not changing it just yet, but just acknowledging where you are in this moment. Is that breath slow and deep already, or is it small and shallow? And we'll start slowly deepening the breath if it is small and shallow. Allowing the belly and the chest to expand in all directions. And into that deep belly breath. And maybe drifting our awareness into any sensation we are feeling in the body. If it's physical, maybe bringing awareness and breath to areas that are holding the tension. If it's a wandering thought, maybe breathing into the mind and releasing the thought on the exhale. Or if you're feeling any unpleasant emotions, maybe just sitting with that feeling, that emotion, breathing into it and letting it go. A little more with each breath. Just noticing what's popping up for you as most important in this moment. And we're just going to give it a couple more breaths. Breathing into it and letting it go. We'll take one more breath into our most important sensation of the moment. And then we're going to bring our awareness down to our toes, allowing the breath to float there with intention into our toes, as if our little toes are expanding and contracting with our breath. Maybe giving a little wiggle and resettling those toes if there is any discomfort amongst them. Maybe feeling the sensation of the socks on your toes or the temperature of the air. Maybe the ground beneath them. We'll take one more breath, noticing just the toes. And then we'll bring our awareness into the whole foot, noticing the sole of the foot, the top of the feet, the sides, where the toes connect. Maybe even noticing the ankle in its flexed state. Again, feeling the sensation of socks or the air upon your feet. And just allowing yourself to breathe into the whole foot on either side, allowing those joints to expand with that inhale and shift back into their proper alignment as we exhale. Taking a couple more breaths into the feet. And then we'll shift our awareness to our lower legs, spiraling our awareness from the ankle up to the knee, noticing the calves and the shins, the inner and outer edges of our lower leg. And allowing ourselves to breathe into that space. Maybe allowing the bones to soften and resettle into their most perfect alignment. Creating a nice, firm foundation of stability through our intention of realigning our musculoskeletal system. So breathing a couple more cycles of breath into that lower leg from the knee down, bringing breath into the feet again as well. And then we'll shift our awareness to the knees and just noticing the flexed state, or if we're lying down and the legs are straight, noticing the straightness of our knees. And just breathing into our knees for a few moments. Maybe allowing the energy awareness to spiral around circularly in that joint space. Inhale allows the knee to expand and create space. As we exhale, contracts back, falling into its proper placement. And take another breath from the knee down. And then we'll float our awareness to our upper legs, our thighs. Noticing the back, the front, the inner and outer. Again, spiraling awareness from the knees towards the hips. And just letting our upper legs soften. We often hold stored emotion that has been suppressed. So if anything arises while we breathe into the thigh, allowing yourself to just acknowledge the thought or emotion and breathe it away, coming back to awareness of those thighs. Allowing all of the tissues of the legs to melt a little more with each exhale. And as we inhale, drawing that vital energy into the legs so they can restore and heal themselves. Take another breath from the hips down. And we'll float into the bowl of the pelvis. So that's the top, front, back, and sides of that hip. Basically the bowl in which your spine grows out from, that holds all your organs in place and connects your legs to your torso. And so just allowing yourself to breathe there, maybe drawing the breath into that lower abdomen and pelvic floor, maybe actively pressing the belly out and pressing those pelvic floor muscles out as we inhale. And as we exhale, scooping them back in and up, giving a little activation to those deep stability muscles. And take a few more breaths into that bowl of our hips. And then we'll bring awareness to the spine and the length of our spine. So maybe lengthening through that crown as we root our hips into our chair, the floor, or the ground. A little more intently. As we inhale, following our awareness up the length of the spine and maybe noticing ourselves grow a little taller. And as we exhale, following the awareness down the spine, back into the hips, feeling our roots sink a little deeper. And we'll just follow that breath up and down the spine a few cycles, allowing yourself to take any minor adjustments and come back to your stillness. Take one more breath, just floating up and down that spine. And then we'll inhale, bringing awareness into our skull and our brain and our face. Just noticing the weight of the head upon the neck. Letting it feel a little lighter as we fill the body with breath. Again, acknowledging any thoughts that might pop up in this moment, giving them a hug of awareness, and letting them go with that exhale, coming back to simply scanning and sensing the body. And we'll bring awareness to the facial muscles, letting the eyes soften, unclenching the jaw, unfurrowing the brow, allowing the tongue to find the space just behind the top teeth on the roof of the mouth. Maybe bringing a smile to the lips. And just breathing into your social nervous system that is your face. Take another breath, and then we'll follow our awareness down the front of our torso into our throat first. Maybe coming into that ujjayi breath and having that little ripple of sound in the back of the throat while we're here. Allowing ourselves to clear out anything that might be stuck, that's been left unsaid. Maybe balancing and calming down an overactive throat chakra of being too expressive to the point of hurting someone. Allowing yourself to find a nice balance of when to speak and when not. And we'll float our awareness to our chest, to our heart and our lungs, really feeling that expansion of the chest. With each breath in, noticing it comes back to the center with each breath out. Giving awareness to your heart and the rhythm that it beats, keeping the time of your life. And coming into our belly, noticing the core, checking in with your gut. We are connected in all three of our intelligent systems of our gut, our heart, and our brain. Is when we are most efficiently flowing through life, accepting things as they come and manifesting the things that we wish to see. So just allowing yourself to take a few more breaths to connect with your gut, your instinct, your ability to know without knowing. And then we'll come into a full torso awareness, expanding the whole torso like a balloon for a few breaths. And we'll come into awareness of the shoulders, letting them drop out of the ears, tucking down towards our hips. Maybe notice they rise and fall with our breath. Maybe noticing if it feels like you've been carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. And if so, allowing that to fall away, creating softness and buoyancy. Following the awareness down to the upper arm, spiraling from the shoulder to the elbow, and just noticing biceps, triceps, and all of the other upper arm muscles, deltoids. Just allowing them to soften, relax, release. Come into awareness of our elbows, noticing if they're flexed or if they're extended. Just breathing into the space of our elbows. Noticing how they connect our shoulders to our hands. And take one more breath into our elbow space. And then we'll bring awareness into our forearms, spiraling the awareness from our elbow to our wrist, noticing the top and the bottom, or the posterior and anterior aspects. Again, breathing into those forearms like we did our lower legs, and creating space for our two bones to resettle and realign as we exhale. Coming into our wrists and our hands, feeling any sensations within them. Breathing deeply into the palms and the wrists, allowing those wrist bones to expand away from each other on the inhale, and as we exhale, fall back into line with one another, the most perfect placement. And then extending awareness to the fingers and just noticing our fingers in space, whether they're straight, whether they're curled. Maybe giving a gentle wiggle and coming back to your stillness. Just breathing with your fingers for a few more moments. Maybe thanking them for being our super sensory receptors and help us understand the tactile information of life. Take one more breath into our fingers, and we'll come into a whole body awareness. So noticing everything from the top of our head to the bottom of our feet and out to the tips of the fingers all at once. We're kind of flowing from space to space, fluidly throughout the body. And if you can, taking that breath and expanding the whole body as one unit. The skin is just expanding and contracting with your whole body here. Noticing the heart, noticing the breath, Noticing the sensations all around. We'll take just another breath, noticing our whole body as one. And then we're going to space out to the space around our body for the last few moments. Just noticing the environment in which we are seated in this moment. Noticing any noises, any light. Maybe noticing the temperature or the feeling of the space. And just allowing yourself to find the stillness without the body, as well as within the body. And we'll just take a few breaths in the stillness to finalize our practice. Maybe bringing the hands to heart center at the end, just to thank yourself for taking this practice. And thank you for watching this video and joining me in this guided body scan meditation. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.